It's too big. I'm sorry about your big pool.
What am I going to do with all that pool? I mean,
So you really are living the dream.
And I'm only one man.
You're only but you got Kel. And those two, does
she
two dogs
really
swim?
doesn't take up much space.
She's a teeny thing.
She's so teeny. Logan loves to swim if he's going after a ball. Really, life is ball for Logan.
Life is ball. Ball is life. Life is ball.
5, 6, 7, 8. We got Big Theater Kid Energy.
Hello and welcome to Big Theater Kid Energy, your least pretentious theater review podcast. I am your host, Ryan Garcia, and I went and saw Dragon Mama at the Geffen Playhouse in the Audrey Skirball Kennis Theater, their smaller space. It's running through April 12th. You got to see this. And I went and saw it with my friend, actor, sketch performer, comedian, director, star of Edinburgh Fringe Festival, A Woman on the Verge, and the wild child Josie on the Netflix multi-can sitcom Leanne. It is the very true and real and wonderful Hannah Pilkes.
Wow, I love that intro.
Was it good?
It was really good. Beep, boop, beep, boop.
Going up and down.
I like the musicality. It felt very modern. This is 2026. We gotta, you know what? I don't want robots. We can just be them.
We don't need AI when we're all a little robotic on the inside.
When we've got some gorgeous chords that can do it ourselves.
Right. Hello, Hannah.
Hello.
Hannah, it was so fun to go and see the show with you.
Oh, it was so fun to go and see the show. I mean, I think you very quickly learned about me that I'm a klutz. And so taking me into somewhere like the fancy theater is a choice.
Yeah, is the perfect contrast that I was looking for.
Totally. Big feet just kind of flopping around, knocking things over. But it felt like such a classy night. The Geffen is so beautiful.
It's so classy.
The string lights, the ambiance, it really was so fun.
And Hannah, look, what I've learned about you, because I've known you for some time, but also I looked on the internet, and the internet says you were born in Philly and raised in New York City.
So it's reversed.
What? The internet's wrong?
And what's crazy is it's never been wrong.
Oh, just this once?
The internet has never been wrong.
This is the first time the internet's ever failed.
The internet's never failed us. The internet's never had misinformation.
I even did my own research.
No, I've noticed that before. I don't know why it flopped it. It also keeps shaving a year off age-wise. I'm like, nope, no worries there.
Yeah, right? You're aging backwards?
I'm aging backwards.
Wow.
I'm Benjamin.
You're oh, is that the one? I thought we were talking about Benjamin Bratt.
But
hottie.
And what I will say is I was in a movie with him in 2004.
Wow.
Saw him at the Poker Face premiere. Man looks younger.
I think he is one of those like men that just ages into hotness.
What I call it is he is offensively hot.
Yeah, it's mean.
It's mean. It blows me back. I was taken aback, quite literally winded, turned into what is the trope in a rom-com where you're like me stealing fam floorboard, living life, doing twice.
I guess that's what really swept off your feet. It's a Benjamin Bratting.
It's Benjamin Bratt. And to top it all off, offensively kind too.
Oh no!
Remembered doing The Woodsman together, was so gracious. We had a really nice hug that I'll never forget. Really
That's
good.
Kevin Bacon in that too, huh?
Kevin Bacon, yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What a
I'm
cool
so curious
gig.
about that new Bacon movie where it's all the Bacon family together.
Don't know anything about it.
It was at South by.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, curious about it.
So you were born in New York, raised in Philly.
Born in New York, moved to Philly, I think 4th grade, outside of Philly. And my sister was in high school. So I still had established a fair amount of a friend base in New York. And as a child actor, I would like Greyhound bus a lot.
Because you started at the age of 11, it said?
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe 10 or, I guess 11. But it was interesting to go from the city to like the burbs, where you do like the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem and all those things.
Totally. I was always a burbs kid.
Where?
But I started in Miami.
Okay.
But then from there to San Diego and then Denver and then Chicago, but always burbs of them.
But when you say burbs of Miami, when I picture Miami, all I can think of is like, welcome to Miami.
No, it is just Will Smith
just like strutting
at the
down.
airport introducing you like, Bienvenido, and he has a woman next to him going, Bienvenido a Miami.
I'm like, there's no suburbs. It's just you with really cool shades. You're 9
and a big
you're
guayabera shirt, and I'm eating an empanada and a little
That's what it is to me.
I get it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was only there till I was 8 years old.
And then why'd you move everywhere?
So my dad moved. He was from Cuba, came over when he was 9 years old with nothing, his family. And then he started working at Burger King. And then from there, rose through the ranks and then got picked up by McDonald's. And then as jobs in McDonald's opened up in corporate, they would be like, well, the job's available, but it's in Denver. And
so, folks, we're going to Denver.
Yep.
Wow.
He was like, as he continued to rise through his
That's a really inspirational
corporate
story.
gig,
And I
yeah.
wonder as a child how that was to be like, no, kind of forced nomadic, but also
yeah.
success for your family. And
I think it really, because I started acting when I was 6 and I joined SAG when I was 7.
get this, that you're also a baby actor.
Yeah. And I think that because I had that little bug already in me, like I already had the hey, look at me disease very much like injected into my butt. I was then gifted like this actor's like very much like boot camp of learn to mold into whatever you're needed to be in all these places.
Wow.
It left me unaware of who I was and what I wanted.
Sure.
I was very aware of what
But that's not what you need to be an actor.
That's not, no, it's not about me.
Guys, if you want to be an actor, abandon what you are, what you think you know,
No.
be an empty vessel, coat hanger, and just let someone tell you.
That's so much easier.
Use that as your clip.
Ego death.
Ego death. But when I say ego death, I mean death of yourself completely.
Yeah.
Die and be reborn as whatever you want me to be.
Have you been in a project where you're literally just like, you're a set piece?
Yes.
Like those are just the hardest.
Yeah.
Where it's like, like I've got so many weapons in my toolkit and all you're asking me to do is just like, just literally be a puppet for you.
Right.
I hate it.
It's horrible, but it all comes with the territory. But that is really interesting. Imagining this kid that is so malleable and is this chameleon, not only in school, I feel like I had to be a chameleon in like the to go from the city to a suburban high school. It was
Right.
like, I'm going to wear polos now and I'm not going to wear my like West Village bell bottoms. But even just for you to adjust location wise,
Yeah.
I'm sure that was a totally different energy. You know,
Yeah,
from
like-
a Denver to a Miami. Denver, it's like you're probably just snowboarding all the time.
Always snowboarding. But that is kind of the feel. Like if you think about like the coolest snowboarder you met at a bar, like après-ski kind of style.
Sure.
Like that's what everyone in Denver's like. They're just
Yeah.
like chill, no worries, enjoying life. And then you
Yeah.
go, and you come from San Diego, kind of the same.
Sure.
And then
Just
Chicago.
different energy, yeah.
Chicago's just like that, but passive aggressive. Wow. You know, that Midwest passive aggression that comes in.
You've just boiled down culture.
I'm sorry, America doesn't have culture. Hi.
Hi, have you been to Miami, San Diego, Denver, and the fourth? I never claimed I was good at memorization.
No, nobody ever said it. That's why you're an improviser as well.
When I act, I have them tape cue cards at every
Hey,
vantage
if
point.
if it's good enough for Marlon Brando,
Is that what he did?
He would have Robert Duvall. There's a shot of Robert Duvall wearing his lines underneath his jacket. I love it. In The Godfather.
What? And that makes me go, did he actually need them, or is that...
He did. He 100% did. He was just at a point in his career where he's like, I've fucking done it.
Did you rewatch it? When you've rewatched it, I've never seen The Godfather, which I know is sacrilegious.
You can't
but
tell.
Is there... You can't tell.
You can't tell. He's
Yeah.
too good.
He's too good.
He's that good.
Yeah.
And, I was thinking about this, like, since we have these, like, little similarities, but also
Chicago, that was the fourth one. Continue.
I knew you'd get it. I knew if I just stayed quiet for a second.
Yeah, if you do that a little more often, Ryan. If you just
I
sit quiet
listen
for a
back to
second.
these pods, and I'm doing it right now. I can't help but just, once I start talking, it's like the train, it's too late.
Are you ADD?
Yeah.
And so what's so interesting about our friendship is
Yeah.
when we hung out, I think we may have talked about no less than 999 topics
Yeah.
at the same time.
So many
But our
subjects.
superpower is the ability to somehow hear each other at the same time when we're in an episode of The View, essentially.
Exactly. I talk about it on here that it's like, hey, you can talk about anything. And I love having someone who's ADD on here because like I'm comfortable with the tangents and I'll bring us back.
Sure.
And that's why this nice little computer has all the structure I need right there so that I can allow my ADD to just fire like crazy.
Yes. However,
Yeah, it's
I was
also
on
a
a
problem.
comedy podcast, such a funny group of people, and we all were too jazzed. And after the pod, we're like, guys, so masturbatory. Man, we are on fire for that one. Yeah, we were. Oh my God. We are all talking over each other for 1 hour straight.
Wow.
It is incoherent.
unlistenable.
Unlistenable. But I played it for Greg, my husband. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm laughing. They're like, this one didn't do it for me. And not because you guys aren't funny, but because I truly can't hear you.
And how long have you and Greg been married?
3 years. We were maybe 3.5 years now. October of, I don't know when this comes out, probably 2 years from now.
Yeah, Monday.
Can you imagine that? So this comes out
Okay, hold on.
2028.
Just some quick math.
Carry the 6. Where is Carmen Sandiego? We've been married 3.5 years. We've been together for 8.5.
8.5?
Yeah.
And
Love that movie.
so, wait, what movie are you talking about?
8.5.
Is that a movie?
Fellini, that's Greg's favorite movie.
No way.
Because Greg's such a cinephile.
Oh my God. They would actually do great at the Geffen. They'd probably fit in perfectly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And they have a solo show that you directed?
Yes.
So what gave you the right?
Okay, that's so funny you say that because I myself gave myself the right.
Yeah.
Greg was working on the show, little by little.
What's it called?
QFWFQ. So QFWFQ.
Gotcha.
Rolls off the tongue. Queef queef.
Yeah, queef queef.
Yeah, it's called queef queef. And
Because you hit that cue
Queef, queef.
at the end.
well,
You did it so expertly.
I'm nothing if not an actor. And this is my instrument.
That's
and
right.
as you can tell, I take good care of my voice.
That is
as
a
it goes
clean,
in and out.
That's a clean instrument you got there.
But I told you yesterday that I played the nurse of the pit on Comedy Bang Bang.
Baby
and just
Jane Doe Doe.
blew out my voice.
Yeah, that'll happen.
So Greg was kind of passively working on it around the house. And then they decided that they were going to do Hollywood Fringe. And they'd done a couple really loose workshops at PDA, RIP. I loved PDA, but it burned down in Altadena during the fires.
God damn.
Such an amazing space for a 25-seater for just
Yeah.
a beautiful incubator. But I saw them do it a couple times. And I remember one day when they decided they were going to do the Fringe, I'm sitting at the table
Oh my
like this.
God.
And Greg's like, what's going on? I'm like, just wondering if you're ever going to ask me if I want to direct your show.
You did not. Did you explode like that? You've just been like a bottle of Coke in the fridge. I gotta get a better arm. It's so bad. Hold on. I just had the biggest fear that I'm not recording video at all, but we're good.
Oh, good. Because I wouldn't have done it over.
No, I know that.
I got places to be. The Grove.
Getting Hannah in this room took a lot of work. I almost exploded the way she just did.
I'm a bouncy ball going through California. Bing, bing. Okay.
So you exploded on your husband.
Some couples, if they work together, it'll break them up.
Yeah.
Some couples, if they don't work together, it'll break them up.
Sure.
Greg directed my solo show, A Woman on the Verge.
Oh, see, that's some context that helps with why you were so upset.
Well, I just think our brains are so beautifully.
Yeah.
I have such a complex.
Tell me about what's amazing about your
I
brain.
have such a complex and beautiful brain. It's just so multifaceted. I am a Pandora's box, a kaleidoscope, if you will, of nuance and idiosyncratic moments. And I've so well traveled and I don't have a college degree, but in a sense, I am sort of a graduate of life.
Wow.
Some are saying Greg is much smarter.
What? Oh my God.
Greg is like, I want to say 4 degrees. So I have 1
Sure.
by osmosis. But when Greg
Sorry,
writes,
you're just taking a degree because they have 4.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. No, you're right. Totally.
I'm also a sensitive dove.
Sure.
And if you hurt my feelings, I have glass nearby.
You have glass nearby, and honestly, you could walk at any moment.
It's always my rider.
Yeah.
When I do anything is I just want to know that I can walk.
It closes with a
any
threat.
moment.
It's every contract with Hannah closes with a threat. And you don't. I'll grab.
It's just a vine at the bottom of me going like this.
I need a glass cup in case I need to attack you.
And I need to be able to walk at any moment in Christian Louboutins. Clink, 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 clink.
Okay. So Greg is so smart,
Lady Mama.
but somehow not smart enough to bring in their incredible wife.
So when Greg directed my show, as you can see, I'm a human ping pong ball. Greg helps streamline, create cohesion, and create. Greg is a really amazing analytical brain, deeply intellectual, loves reading, loves watching movies, and is just like an absorber of information. And then me, on the other hand, I love behavior. I love all the random stuff. I love infusing humor. So I think when I saw their show, I just was like, oh my God, I see so many opportunities because I think what Greg needs is accessibility because they are like the world's smartest person. And I think what I need is to make it not sound smarter, but I think creating a container, you know? So I think that's maybe why I was bubbling over is I just simply had so many ideas.
Totally.
And then when I said it, they were like, well, I didn't know if you wanted to direct. And I didn't, because it's like, I know you're so busy. I'm like, I know I'm so busy, but like, I would never be too busy for you. And they're like, well, I didn't know if you'd be too busy for me. I'm like, let the record show when in doubt, I will always direct
Were
you.
they also crying, or it was just you crying for the both of you?
I wanted, just for the sake of the fantasy, we were both bawling.
Just so no.
yeah, I mean, that's our relationship.
We all,
Greg's,
but
Greg's the
hey,
rock.
Just answer the poll. We all knew that, right?
We all knew.
all
Greg's
knew that.
smarter, and Greg can contain
And
their
Greg can
emotions.
contain the emotion. Greg's the container.
Greg's the container. I'm the explosion.
But I love that way of putting it too, of like so many opportunities.
Yes.
Like they've already done the work. They've already built this playground and set up like the structure and the story.
Yeah.
And you're just watching it and seeing like there's just these moments that we can take a bigger bite out of the apple.
Right.
We can take a more advantage
Right.
of each of these to like express something here or
Exactly.
bring the audience in more here.
Yes. And because I know this person so deeply, I think it's also, I can maybe integrate something that another director might not, because I know the inner corners and cobwebs of their mind, as do they me.
As do they me.
As do they me.
Honestly, that would be your memoir.
As do they me.
A Hannah Pilkes story.
A Hannah Pilkes story. Also, the way in which I receive notes and the way in which Greg receives notes, I mean, and I'm sure you could have guessed this, is so vastly different. Greg giving me notes, and mind you, that was 2022. I've come a long way, but it would kind of be like, no worries if not. And I'm like, take it or leave it. I'm like, yeah, no worries. I'm sort of like a tea kettle waiting to explode. And then Greg, I would, preface my notes by being like, no worries if not. And they would stop me and go, hey, I'm here for notes. I love notes. I welcome notes. I'm not going to take it personally.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Making my job easy. So they're an absolute delight to work and direct because of that.
I find that easy to do when it's not my partner.
Sure.
When it's Kelly, when she's giving me notes, I'm like, one, she doesn't do the part of no worries if not. She goes, she used to. We've grown a lot.
Yeah.
But it wasn't good for her to self-tape me because she used to just be like, that doesn't make any sense. You're not being present here. You're kind of performing.
It's because she loves you and knows you're brilliant, and she doesn't think you need the
she
bullshit.
gets past that. And I'm like, hey, my ego is so fragile.
Right. I'm hanging by a single thread.
When I am acting, like when I'm in front of the camera and I've only had, the amount of time we have to self-tape, like most that's being spent memorizing and then trying to dig into given circumstances and understand it.
Right.
But I'm like, I've spent 6 hours on this piece and you just taking it apart without just being a little bit of like, oh, I see what you did.
Totally.
I don't even need a compliment. I just need I see what you're going for here.
Absolutely.
Here's an opportunity and now that we're in that form of communication, it's smooth sailing.
100%. And is Kelly an actress as well?
She was.
Okay.
She came to LA to be an actress,
I see.
and then she realized, the thing that actually she fell in love with about movies and TV is the creation of them.
So cool.
She made movies. She was an editor by trade. Like she loves writing, and so now she's very much. And she wrote and directed her feature film, My Fiona, in 2019. Like it's wonderful.
But as a writer as well, I think the way that you implement notes is a lot more red pen and just, do this.
And other writers are cutthroat and producers are cutthroat.
Yeah, but it's also just truly knowing each other's communication styles, and that I try to frame things like, ooh, there's an opportunity here, or I'm curious about. It's the same thing with an acting class versus like, I didn't like when you did blank. You know?
Not helpful.
Not helpful.
Ultimately leading to the same goal, but not helpful. But to speak about process, like the process that must have gone into making Dragon Mama is, I just would have loved, as we were talking about this and you were saying it too, just like let us come in. Let us come into a rehearsal and see what you did. Because it is crazy when you think about, for these solo shows, how much of a collaboration a solo show is.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the other day about even like how stand-up is a collaboration between the stand-up and the audience. A stand-up who's doing their like hour special didn't just like pop onto the stage and start doing their hour. No, they went to all the rooms and worked it out in front of audiences. So it's still a collaboration with a group of people.
It's funny when stand-ups rag on clown and clowns rag on stand-ups because they are very much doing the same thing.
Right.
In different, costumes, but you need the other to inform, and you have to be highly sensitive to the other. Whatever that audience on that day is giving you, and whatever you're coming in with, you have to balance the dichotomy of those two things and find the harmony together.
Literally read the room.
Yeah.
So let's start with the history of this specific theater, because I hadn't seen an opening night at the Audrey Skirball Kennis Theater at the Geffen.
Space.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's there. A lot of these big theaters have a traditional black box space. And this one was built in 2005 as part of a $17 million renovation of the Geffen. Audrey Skirball Kennis was the philanthropist whose funding helped make that happen. And it's Black Box is so cool because you can transform it into so many different things.
Right.
I've seen a show there where it's been cabaret tables with a full band and then an upstairs apartment that's there, and you're actually at the little cabaret tables with some raked seating. This one was very much a thrust stage, very simple back wall.
Yes.
And I think had a total of 138 seats.
Okay, I was curious.
Yeah, the max is 149 for that space.
But this exactly how it was configured worked so beautifully.
Was perfect.
Because didn't you feel like you could breathe? We could move. Yeah.
We were at the most, I mean, like the furthest from the side
Which could
that we
be
could
obstructed.
possibly be, and I didn't feel like I missed a single beat.
Not at all. I think it's also the way it lends it, because it is this blank space, and I'm sure depending on how you dress the set, but it is so open and inherently in the round just because of how it's built.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what I love about spaces like this too is like the main stage, obviously at the Geffen, is going to have incredible theater.
Of course.
But this gives them an opportunity to serve a smaller audience, and because of that, also have much more experimental
Yes.
and really exciting new pieces, workshops of new pieces, readings, whatever, to like what is going to be that next piece that goes to the main stage, or what is actually supposed to be in this space.
Right, because some are. The intimacy of a show like this. I mean, look, I know the first one was in the main stage.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
But the intimacy of this one specifically, whether or not it goes to the main stage, I feel really privileged to have had the experience this way.
Yes. Well, the first one. So this is. We're talking about Dragon Mama.
Dragon Mama
by Sarah Porkalob, and she has written a trilogy of dragon stories. And I learned this world today: matrilineal stories.
And kind of going to be telling us what that is.
Yeah, matrilineal, as in the like history of the mothers within one lineage.
Oh wow,
the
okay.
women
Beautiful.
within the lineage, right? A matrilineal story. And so the first one was Dragon Lady, which is about her grandmother, and that one was grand. It had a full band, big stage in the big space. It was a massive production, because I think that's also what her grandmother's life was in the Philippines, and then coming into America, like living with gangsters, like. Very much this wild story. And then Dragon Mama is about Sarah's mother, which the way that she describes it, why it's in the space, is it's much more cinematic. It's much more like you need to be inside the story with her.
Sure.
And then the next one in the trilogy will be Dragon Baby, which is in development now, which is about Sarah herself.
Wow. I, first of all, am dying to see the first one. But I think what's great is, having not seen the first one, I didn't feel like I missed out on a single moment.
Yeah.
They are very standalone pieces.
I agree.
That being said, I was so spellbound and captivated that I would have easily sat, watched the first one, stretched my legs for a minute, had a bar, watched the second one.
When the full trilogy is done, I want to go to a theater that has 3 different spaces.
Yeah. Oh, that's so fun.
One space that's set up for Dragon Lady, Dragon Mama, and then Dragon Baby. I don't know. Maybe it's a traveling piece.
It's just in her lap.
she just holds
she just cradles
one
us.
audience member a night
It's really exhausting
gets to
for
witness
her.
Dragon Baby.
Yeah, we're just swaddled.
They put you in a little burrito,
That's
and
exactly
you get
right.
held by Sarah.
I've seen a lot of beautiful art, but I find that every day I'm ruminating and reflecting on a new detail.
Yeah.
And just the way something makes you feel. Yeah.
And Sarah Porkalob, when I first saw Dragon Lady, the first one, I contacted her and I was like, I am so blown away by your ability to hold an entire audience captivated for a full 2 hours.
Yes.
And it feeling like 40 different people on stage.
Yes.
And never a moment, never a movement wasted. So efficient, so specific.
Yes.
You were talking earlier about behavior. She was so locked into each of these different separate characters' behaviors.
Yeah.
And it was so fun.
It was so fun. I think with a solo, especially something that's recounting history, has the potential to feel dry or feel like you have to be so faithful to that story that maybe the chronology of it could weigh it down.
Yeah.
And I was even saying, when you're playing a million characters, kids included, there's so many traps in a solo show, right?
So many
Corny
traps.
or dry or, masturbatory. Gosh, none of those things.
No.
It really, the specificity, and I think the word that I used with you was sleek. It just
Slick.
felt so
You said
slick.
sleek also works, But you said that night slick.
It was just so slick. And I just was like, this is the coolest person ever.
So cool. And before we even get to all of that, because I think there's so much more I want to get into the specifics.
Yes.
Without spoiling anything about the show, just some specifics that were so stand out to me. The Isaac Berliner, who is the social media and communications manager for the Geffen, who also helped me a lot with the building of this podcast. Thank you, Isaac. He sent me the script. And one thing I expected for some reason, I guess maybe just naivete, thinking that this script was just going to be like 90-page monologue.
Right.
And no, it's written like a full like a full script where you would have 10 different actors.
Because of course
it would.
Yes.
That makes so much more sense.
But it's funny, it's in seeing that, it's a reminder of how important that delineation is. And that I wonder, what I would do to be a fly on the wall, watching the prep of each one, and that you do have to independently probably work each one and then fuse them together. But what does that look like?
Yeah.
You know, Natalie Palamides is a good example as well. Does a lot of amazing clown and did a run at Cherry Lane where she plays a couple on each side of it.
Oh my gosh.
But just the slickness and I asked her how she rehearses, and she said alone in the mirror. She rents the theater space and just
So does she not use a director?
I think she had a bunch of collective help from different clowns for this one. I would be very curious for this show to see how much time is spent alone, sitting with these characters and then bringing a lot to the director, and how much is spent making those decisions together.
Have you had an emotional conversation with Natalie about why she hasn't asked you to direct her piece yet?
Not yet, but don't worry, it's brewing. At all times, I'm just 2 minutes away from tears. Good ones, bad ones.
I see that you're doing a reading of a play. You didn't
just
ask me to be in it.
Just put an Amex commercial on and I'm sobbing for some reason because they got me.
If there's a dog in it, if there's a baby, if it's on a plane.
Thank you.
If I'm on the plane, not the.
If you're on the plane.
Also, if the commercial's on the plane.
Because you're always just telling me sad stories on the plane.
Right, I'm sorry, but it's just I've got a lot to share.
Yes.
We're high up in the air.
And
where are you going to go? Where are you going to go?
And that's trapping people. Yep. But
you should.
Yep. Thanks. Greg Smarter.
But the writing and the crafting, like just the way that the story unfolds.
Yes.
The first scene where you kind of like
you need 1 minute.
It's such a wonderful teaser to the whole piece.
Yes.
And tells you, it introduces all our main characters.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I don't think I'm giving anything away in saying that a fruit is referenced in the first scene.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. I knew I was in when I could see it and taste it.
I could smell
almost
the fruit.
Immediately.
Yes.
And I was also thinking about this dialogue and that brevity is your friend, in that you have to keep us captivated. So you don't want to spend too much time in each character, but also then you have to be really effective and thoughtful in how you consolidate. So it just always kept moving, but at the proper speed. And everything felt so thoughtfully approached.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. No waste.
No waste.
Yeah.
But
2 hours.
In every aspect. With one person.
With one and a chair.
A chair.
And we applauded for the chair as well.
And the chair got a bow.
As it well should.
Yeah. Now, not to take away, there was also incredible lighting and sound. But
yes, the whole team.
The way that Sarah was able to sync up with the stage manager in the booth, with the calling of the sound effects, and the space work on stage, that made us really like, oh, my imagination is fully like.
Yes.
This is also the thing about a black box. A black box does that thing that reading a book does, where it gives you the opportunity to use your imagination to fill in all the gaps and all the colors.
Yeah.
And that's what happened here. All those things were happening, and I'm like, my imagination's filling it.
And there could have been so much more tech that I think would have been gratuitous. I feel like the way the tech was used, there were so many moments that I was so grateful we had to fill in on our own. I wish I could see how your brain was imagining a car scene and how mine was. There was some cigarette work that I am still thinking about. The precision to switch between multiple people and pick the cigarette back up. I could see the embers of of the lit cigarette. It was,
and it also felt like I never saw the hand go from the other character where it was down here to then then this character, it was back up there. It just feel like it was there the whole time.
That's why slick is the word I keep coming back to, is that she was so intentional about the behavior she chose for each character, because it's a lot of labor to make these huge choices to vacillate between the two. But she had narrowed it down to one very clear singular behavior that just helped transport us in no time at all.
Yes.
Really, I just keep thinking about time. Time can either be your enemy or your friend in something like this.
Totally.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I mean, we could just sit here and gab,
How many
gab, gab.
characters is it? Like, it's...
That's a great question.
I wish the program was her, all the characters.
Oh
and
my
then
gosh,
Sarah.
that would be hilarious. Well,
Yes.
it's her plus I think like there's 5 children.
Yes.
Plus her mother.
Yep.
Right, because she's playing her mother, so her mother's
there's
mother.
a boss.
And then there's the boss. There's the other guy on the boat,
There's a person she meets while she's there.
Tina.
Tina.
At least
A couple people that are populating the club.
the mean kids.
God.
The other girlfriend. Those sailors. 15,
I think it's close
20?
to 15, 20. Yeah.
15 to 20 characters that are all so distinct.
And I felt like they were all up there. And that there were
Seriously.
20 sets.
And like you were talking about, there are some I think I want to talk also really quick before we continue about Sarah, the
Yeah.
director, Andrew Russell.
Who's extraordinary.
Extraordinary. Again, I just want to know. I want to sit there and just see how did you do this?
I wish that it would be so cool if they'd filmed it and there was a doc of some kind. I mean, there's certain people's process you just want to watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Worth it. Hey, for Dragon Baby,
Film it.
documentary.
I would watch the shit out of that.
We want to
use
watch.
that clip.
Use that clip. Brian, use that clip.
Dragon Mama.
Dragon Mama! So, Sarah Lindsley, the costume designer. I also love the costume. It was so just like one thing for the
Yes.
longest time, and then the reveal when the jacket comes off, what's underneath.
Oh, yes.
And like we saved it. She saved it for a full act and a half.
There's so much trust.
So much trust.
Yes.
That's such a great way to put
with
it.
With the tech, with the directing, there's trust that like she's got this. So
Yes.
we don't need to overdo anything.
Sound designer Aaron Bednar's. So good.
Beautiful sound
So
design.
good. And I know this is a bit of a spoil, but we have to. I just want to know the decision behind. There's moments where she's working. Look, by the way, there's a Walkman. Okay, that's not a spoil. It's on the
that's
poster.
important. That's a character.
That's a character in it. The Walkman, when she's pressing the buttons, the sound effects are perfectly timed out with her pressing the buttons on a Walkman that doesn't exist. There's no props.
It's so beautiful. Oh my God, the Walkman doesn't exist.
The Walkman doesn't exist. I had to remind myself of that.
It's
The headphones aren't real.
It's the kind of mime where you really feel it fucked with.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, certainly there was one prop there. But that's not the thing you were going to talk about, is it?
What I was going to talk about was those sound effects that were played from the booth over the speakers. And then very intentionally, when she puts on a seatbelt, looks directly in an audience member's eyes and goes, click.
And then kaplunk.
Yeah, closes the door. Ka-chunk.
Ka-chunk. Ka-chunk.
Like, why? It's so funny, but it's so like a setup.
But that's trust.
Just trust.
She knows she is in total control. At one point, I think someone repeated a line that she said because
she said as a child, because you're a bona fide woman. And
someone went, bona fide woman, and the audience erupted, and she needed a moment.
Broke on stage.
But it was so joyous because it was truly.
Genuine.
And so I was thinking to myself, where do you pick back up when you have 600,000 lines ahead? But again, such a pro.
When some of these scenes were very vulnerable and there was moments taken and breath as two people were going through something really difficult.
Yeah.
And then there were scenes where it was children just like boom, 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 back and forth. And that was one of those.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm going to go ahead and take that back. Because also she's constructing something. As a comedian, like, you know that like 8 lines from now is a really important.
It's a balloon, and if the air's out, you have to put more air in there.
If someone stutters, I was in a show where someone would laugh before the actual laugh line. And every other show, every other performance, I got the laugh.
Yes.
This one, I didn't because they threw off the rhythm.
Have you ever felt like you were that? There were a couple moments in Dragon Mama where I was like, shout your goddamn mouth,
Yeah,
Hannah.
because we're seeing it. I think we're seeing it from a different level.
Yes.
You know, we're seeing
You're
it.
ahead of it a little bit in moments.
And also, I'm enjoying things that maybe other people aren't seeing from the perspective of having created in this way. I'm like, oh, that's so good what you're doing. I see what you're up to.
Yes.
And someone else doesn't know, and they're like, wait, what?
Well,
and now they lose the joke.
I was not ahead of the premise or the characters in any way, shape, or form. I'm just laughing because I'm like, I'm still thinking about the Walkman. And like, oh yeah, we do slide our finger like that or whatever the case may be. But on the directing front, I mean, I want to know what their relationship was like. What do you solicit from each other, and what is offered up? What is taken away? You know,
And was there a ka-chunk sound effect
Right.
and a click sound effect? But then during rehearsal, she said ka-chunk and made eye contact with somebody, and it was so funny.
It was like, we got to keep it.
Oh, we're keeping that. And who was the one to, like, was it Sarah being like, we can't keep that?
Right.
We got to
right.
do the sound effect. Or was she the one like, I don't want this one to be a sound effect?
Right.
Like, I want to know that part of the construction of it, because that's what the best
decision-making.
thing about rehearsal.
Yeah, is that you kill your darlings, but then also you make all these discoveries together.
These things.
Yeah.
The scenic designer, Randy Wong Westbrook, I think it was it was just a platform, a big square platform, and in the background was just what looked like innocuous just lines.
Yes.
But they had these LED light on them, and they could spell mama. They could do full light shifts to bring us into a club.
Beautiful.
It was so...
And
it's effective, and in the same way that this show allowed our imagination to fill in the gaps, that allowed us to be like, at times, if you didn't look closely, you wouldn't notice it said mama.
And that to me is such a testament. Nothing was
Again,
in your
trust.
face. Like I felt it you create environment by not. It was so meta theatrical. Like from the moment the lights came up, I was like, all right, this is cool. This is vibey. And we are in this world. And you don't notice every detail when you're walking through the world.
No.
Someone might notice the smell. Someone might notice the visuals. Everything felt so blended and just trusting that you will be transported because of her.
I don't know how many solo shows I've thought like, that's fucking cool.
Yes. Cool. It's cool.
Like this is so cool.
I know. And theater, famously, people rag on it and say it's uncool. We know that's not true.
Right.
But this is cool.
This is the coolest theater happening right now in LA.
It really is.
Spence Madubang, and he did the lighting design, which it was so subtle, so wonderful, and there were moments that I loved so much. So, for instance, they're in a car. Well, you know that because of ka-chunk click. And the lights, I love looking up sometimes at the grid and just saying like, so how are we creating this stage picture right now? What's our key light? What's creating some color and stuff like that? There were these light strips that would just move through. Like if you you're outside and looking at like
creating motion. Yeah.
Creating motion. And then when one of the characters would hit the brake, those lights would stop. Everything was in sync.
You know what's so insane? I did not even clock that. And I know it's because it was around me.
Yeah.
I did. It's like we're not clocking lighting choices during movies, but that's what makes it so beautiful. And it's like, of course, they're creating the illusion of night when you're inside. And gosh, the thing that stuck with me was there was a movie scene and just the ability to project the light of the screen and just hear the movie in the background. It's visceral. So much of it was just so visceral.
And the person who's most important in keeping this time with Sarah Portkalab is Nick Carvalho, who's calling the production stage manager, who's calling all those cues to be perfectly in sync with the production. Was just like if there's not, so to speak even further about trust, if there's not perfect trust there, the thing falls apart.
Oh, talk about a collaboration. Yeah. This is a solo show that it's simultaneously bare bones and incredibly complex.
Yeah, when you look at all the lighting and sound cues that must get called, it really is.
And I imagine a show, it would still be incredible without all of those things. But what that added, the complexity that it added, and also just that it takes a little bit off her shoulders, right?
Yep.
Because I don't want her to have to create the light.
Right.
You know, she's creating it through this beautiful poetic text. There was such a poetry between everyone. That everyone's speaking this language that none of us can touch, to the point where there's moments where I would be like, I was trying to rise to my feet because of a lighting choice. There was a music, sound, and lighting choice that I don't even want to give away. That is so insane how the three work so well together that we all were wanting to explode. And I think there was a moment of like uproarious applause because we couldn't take it in.
We couldn't. And I loved, by the way, you were the perfect person to sit next to watch the show.
When I threw my cup by accident?
When you threw your cup by accident, when you almost threw your chair off of the riser.
I thought the chairs had backs. So I
the chair had a back.
Like
but
Amelia
the
Bedelia.
feet weren't like glued to the ground. like Amelia Bedelia. Almost.
Wow. I rolled here in the dust pile.
Every appendage was flailing. People were worried. Someone was already 9-1 waiting for the third number to see what happened.
I hadn't eaten enough either, so about 30 minutes in, my stomach's grumbling. Shout out to the bar.
Oh, yes.
They weren't serving food yet, and the sweet, sweet bartender gave me 2 bars, a secret stash.
I know.
I mean, there's just such a friendliness and warmth at the Geffen.
There really is.
really
And can I
like
say,
it
now
there.
that I've been to a bunch of the opening nights, it's almost always the exact same bartenders.
You're like, and just so you know, the secret stash is not so secret. Everyone gets that.
everyone
You're not
gets
special.
that. That's offered to everyone. That's
Oh my
actually,
God.
most of them, they say, you're a granola bar. So the fact you had to ask means that you're not in yet.
Sorry. Even the environment and like energy cultivated and created. I was about to say halftime. Around halftime.
You're
when-
such a sport kid.
I'm such
You're
a
such a
sports,
sport guy.
classic sports gal. When we were in the restroom, it was a bunch of women in the mirror, and a couple of us were like, and then we were like, why bother? But we struck up some interesting conversation about the show, and I also think that's a testament to how good a show is.
Yes.
Is that there's just this. We
Buzz.
can't not talk about it.
It's
yeah.
buzzy.
This was halfway through.
I know.
Halftime.
At the halftime of the traditional halftime of theater. Also, it's so easy. Like by the way, I talk about it on here all the time. I love a 90-minute one act, but this is a 2-act, 2-hour show, and I don't want to miss a second.
And as an ADDer that really, really struggles in movie theaters as well, I just get really squirmy. I could have stayed even longer, but
Yeah.
I thought.
Oh, the
and
end was
endings are
perfect.
so hard.
The end was perfect.
Leaving me yearning for just a little bit more. It was exquisite, and it ended in this. It ended and knocked my goddamn heart and stomach into one. It was like, oh, it ended lights down. I needed a moment to catch my breath.
Yeah.
But absolutely 2 hours, not a moment could have been lost.
And to speak about also the specificity with each of the characters, the 15 to 20 characters that happen on this show, is even the small characters had a behavior that helped you just lock in immediately.
Well, you needed that, right?
You needed that because it's so fast.
I was just thinking about how she did the car scene and she didn't move. It was just creating, well, this is the left side of the car and this is the right side.
That's it.
But
And there wasn't any of that, like, talk like this and then talk like this. Like, no, I'm just talking
That's
here and
what-
now I'm
that's
talking
trust.
this. It's this much movement to delineate between the two characters, and we got it.
Yes. And you realize, I'm like, oh my God, didn't it make you want to study people even more?
It made me want to study people so much more.
Yeah.
And I have been
Yes.
since then.
Yes.
I've been like, what makes you you?
Right. What is my behavior? What's your behavior? There was like a little boy and his behavior, one of the brothers was wiping and then it was always the nose and wiping it. I'm like, that was my youth. And unfortunately sometimes now, but it was so
But I went through that
smart.
just the other day. Like I was on the pickleball court and I saw somebody walking up, and because of where the windscreen is, you can only see their legs. And like, is that Michael? And I'm like, yeah, check out his gait. Like I know
Right.
this person's already because of the way they walk.
Yes.
Like, can the characters you build be like? Can you figure out who each one is based on just how they walk?
And then
You know?
you're not playing at the idea of something because
Yeah.
vocally, she has to be all over the place, and yet she has to take care of her voice throughout.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not stretching in such a way that, and if she had, I think it would run the risk of feeling put on. And nothing felt sketch. Nothing felt like a swing at the idea of age or.
The unbelievable ability to play children
Yes.
and
Yes.
then get a joke out of those children saying adult things.
Yes.
Like it is so, I don't think anyone watching this show may not fully comprehend how hard that is.
Oh my
And how
gosh.
easy that is to screw up.
I have a 5-year-old nephew, and I got goosebumps at one point because they are so goddamn funny.
Yeah.
But capturing that is so goddamn
As an
hard.
adult.
Yes. And she never talks down
No.
in her writing because it's so easy. I mean, how many rom-coms have we seen where the kid's like, what'd you say? That's a little superfluous, Dad. It's like the 8-year-old daughter of a single dad. Like,
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, I think you really ought to consider the circumstances.
I think your emotional intelligence is a little low.
And it's like, all right, Abigail, you're right. That's bullshit, right? The way in which she wrote the characters young and old is that she absolutely embodied them to find that text.
Yeah.
It never felt like playing at the idea of something or punching down. Like we as adults speaking down to a kid, you never felt that. And I
Never.
think that's why it felt so lived in.
And it made these children's problems feel real and
stakes.
impressionable to us.
because a kid's
we were looking
core
at them
problem,
not through an adult viewing their problems.
Right,
it was them
exactly.
experiencing the problems together as a unit.
nothing felt trivial. That's exactly what it is. Because a kid going to school and getting in a fight to us feels trivial, but to them is the world.
Yeah.
And everything felt like the world.
This
to
is a
these-
prison yard.
Yes.
And I need to prove myself here,
Exactly.
or I will get eaten up by it.
It's such a self-awareness of and an ability to an empathy, an ability to tap into people's hearts and souls.
Yes.
That's just
She understands human experience in a wild, and I think this is the thing that I love so much. It's also like so hyper specifically a Filipino story.
yeah.
And yet, because it's so hyper specific, it's universal.
Right. I mean, like I have really little experience with growing up in a Filipino household.
And that's interesting.
You know, you would have thought.
I would have thought.
But I do think that universal, speaking to families, speaking to generational trauma or bonding or relationships among parents, you know, pride, ego, so many
It's
things.
so accessible because all of those things are universal.
While also teaching me a lot.
Yeah.
While also exposing me to a culture I don't get to spend time in, you know, and learn a lot of things. And the dichotomy of my relationship to my mother and grandmother and like what they went through and experienced and poverty and wealth and affluence, just so many themes explored in a really accessible way.
And two quick things that I want to talk about. One, the transition of time was incredible. And I will just give this away because I think it's just so cool and it has to be talked about.
Yeah.
But the way that we understood the passage of time was you would meet a character as a baby who didn't yet have the gift of speech. And then we didn't really say like we just time passed.
Even though is a surefire way.
It's so easy and everyone uses it
Yeah.
for good reason. But we didn't even need that because then the next scene would start and he would say, "Hey, Lily." And Lily would go, "Yeah, what's up?"
And that's it.
And we're like, "Oh my gosh, Lily's now 5.
Isn't it such a testament to
So it's been 4 years. Great, now I know.
If you've done the work properly, we're not stupid.
No.
It's not, she's giving, there's trust. We trust her and she trusts us. And again, talk about relationship. She trusts, I will fill in the gaps for you, but I don't need to fill in every gap.
I don't need to say, well, it's been 5 years
Right.
since Lily was born.
Totally.
Or like, okay, we'll transition to a birthday. So that way we know how much. Like, no, it was
That's
just.
what made it so cool.
That's what was so cool. It was that trust. And
It's
that,
magic.
And it really allows the thing that I think a lot of audiences want to be are detectives.
Yes.
And like, I want to be figuring out and going, and like, I want to feel smart. I felt smart.
Or I'm like, oh my God, that's what Lily sounds like. I wondered when she was born.
Yes.
Wow, that's her slight
What a
affectation or that's her
gift.
behavior. Yeah.
What a gift to
Yeah.
give to us, to give us the ability to figure that out on our own.
And she's a really cinematic thinker because I was sort of like, what does the movie version of this look like? And it's really, really smart editing.
Yeah.
That trust that, you'll catch up almost immediately.
Yes.
And yay, you had that moment to catch up on your terms, you know?
And I wanted to talk about, I saw Sarah on a different podcast. And because this is really like her mom's story, and the other one was her grandmother's story. And she talks about when she first was doing this show.
Yeah.
And her family seeing it. And the first time they saw it, how
must
they
that
were
have been
just
like?
rocked by it. They all went out
I'm
for drinks
sure.
afterward, and mom couldn't come.
I'm
Grandmother
sure.
came and the uncles and aunties, a couple of them came, and they're sitting there and the aunties were saying, like Lily was saying like how much she loved it. And the grandmother said, "I'm so sorry. I had no idea that that's what you all were going through." You know, and that for mom, it was like too much to handle that in front of her own
course.
mother in that moment. But then from then to now, how it's progressed, like the mom actually moved to Alaska with Sarah, where Sarah had some of her formative years, and they lived in a gay commune for a while in Alaska, which is like, of course you have so many wildly interesting, fantastical stories to tell.
And-
Who's had that experience?
100%. And people are flawed.
Yes.
And people are complicated. And Lord knows I fucked up. And Lord knows my mom is fucked up. And we are all doing the best we can. I'm not excusing inexcusable
Right.
behavior in life. That being said, I've had a similar experience now happen with a couple of friends where they've explored topics with parents or different family members and they've come and it's been too much at the beginning. And then it's been like the geode cracked open that might never have otherwise. That is this beautiful portal into what you couldn't say this way. you know?
Take the hard step, and it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
It's not like take the hard step and then beauty comes. Like, no,
Yeah.
take the hard step and you're going to step in shit and you're going to be in mud
And you're gonna be
it's going to be
confronted.
gross and no one's going to be happy and there's going to be tears and people might not talk for a while, but it's the start of something great.
Yeah.
And to see that, like, at this point in the production of the trilogy of the Dragon stories is that mom is there.
Yeah.
Mom is having the night of her life.
Yes.
Like, I felt like her mom was kind of like, this is my night.
Oh, I know. And it was so special. She was glowing.
She wanted to get in she jumped into a photo with me and a couple
Yes.
friends. She wanted to jump into every photo. She
Because
wanted
I'm
to be
sure
a
they
part
crossed
of.
the other side, which
Yeah.
is like, wait, this is a celebration. And it does acknowledge low points, but it also acknowledges there's so much nuance in it.
It acknowledges like how you had to make a hard choice.
Human decisions,
And-
human nature.
Yes. Just unbelievable and so beautiful to see so much of her family there celebrating her and
Yeah.
honoring her, and her mom just being like on the top of the world. Imagine that you have a child and your child writes a story of your life
Well, I
and
was just going to
performs it.
say, some art, people write art to avoid everything that they
Right.
don't want to confront. She has chosen a career path that firmly roots her in her roots forever.
And like
you know?
people write love songs about people that they are, enamored with, or old lost long flames. About your mother, a love story about your own mother is
Yeah.
so special. And to have mom be able to be there and be in celebration with it is
Yeah.
just like, I can't even handle how cool that is.
And the power of art that it absolutely made me reflect on it and makes me want to take my mom and made me want to have thought-provoking conversations, which I don't think it's never once preachy, the show.
No!
But it's so successful in making you think afterwards. And because of how universal it is, you can't help but plant yourself into certain situations and
Yeah.
think, yes, what was it like to hear a song for the first time when I was mad at siblings and I just needed to go for a walk? What did it feel like, that first big fight with a parent that is just, it's so sobering and real? What it's just, I don't know. It's like you said, it's like, that's not how I grew up culturally, and yet there is so much that I identified with.
Totally.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to say about the show unless there's anything that you wanted to say,
We really covered it.
except for go and see it.
I'm going to see it again without question.
Yeah.
Because you can focus on a new detail,
I want to sit in a new seat.
Yes.
Because also, Sarah,
I don't want to go with you.
No, I don't want to sit. I don't want to be there the same night as you.
I don't want to be there. Let's talk about what night you're going and I'll go another night.
Yeah, I will be showing up the night you go.
We have different custody over the Geffen. Yeah. After the incident, I threw the cup.
I don't want
Ryan
a cup
was like,
flying.
You can do my pod, but after that.
We're done. But like I want to sit in a different seat, see it from a different angle, because she did such a wonderful job of playing to everyone. Like, and I think I'm sure that was
Right.
Andrew also being a big part of it. You could tell that
beautiful
Andrew moved
directing.
all around the house when directing it to make
Yes.
sure that every seat was.
Well, there's a moment that we got that someone else didn't get, and there's a
Exactly.
moment that they got that we didn't get.
Yes.
But it didn't dampen any of our experiences, but didn't it feel, I'm like, everyone that needs to see it in this space,
Yeah.
because it really is like we're all in this room
And every moment that
together.
you get just for you, you're like, oh, what a little gift.
It's a campfire story. We are literally around a campfire with her. When else do you get to have something that close and personal?
and that well executed from all the designers, from
Yes.
the director, the space, everything is coming together to make this show. Oh,
You know it's
so
good when you're like, I want to look into the work of everyone in this team.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Go see it.
Go see it. And do you think that you gain anything from it that you're going to take? Are you going to do another solo show, you think?
Yes, I'm working on an hour right now that
Wow.
I've been putting up. Oh man, so much. Showing, not telling. Brevity's your friend, but also trusting that we don't need things to be funny all the time. I think
That's
we
hard.
want things to be human.
That one's so hard for me.
It's so hard.
I want to make every moment funny. It's like, no, we'll get there.
And frankly, like, it is so satisfying. She would, the only word I can think of is edging. She would edge us, so to speak, in that, like, the rewarding feeling of that laugh at the end of this so deeply human interaction.
Yeah.
That's what I want to take with me is like, humanity is interesting and behavior is interesting, and we don't have to do as much as we think, but we
Right.
do have to believe it ourselves. You know, I know that no one is put on. She is in the bodies and souls of these people, but she took the time to get there.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's this solo show? When's it going to be? Where's it going to be?
I'm doing it on the March 31st at Elysian. It's called Skiing. It's also a family story. It's based off of dating a lot of wealthy partners and growing up with very little money, and the juxtaposition of going to a lot of ski towns, which is, famously one of the most expensive sport, I would say. Being stuck on top of the mountain and being confronted with sort of the reckoning with all of those things. And what does modern adulting look like? Are you successful if you've made money? Can you be ethically wealthy? So it's a real exploration of wealth. Very funny, but again, not shying away from things that I felt like I had to talk about this year as the world kind of crumbles, but also blossoms in different ways.
Do you have a director?
I don't yet. It's early days.
Just a little confused that
Well, you're not my husband.
Oh shit.
You're just my friend.
That's a good point.
You're just my friend's been.
Thought I had a shot.
I gotta ask Greg.
Okay, well, hey, if Greg turns it down, and also every other person you know that you want to direct it,
absolutely, you will be.
Just
at the
don't forget
bottom.
that
You're on the list.
Don't forget that Andrew Russell is available.
Perfect. Because you said you didn't want to see me after this podcast.
No, did you think I meant me?
You would. Yes.
Did you think I meant me?
I thought you meant.
Oh no way!
No. I don't like your work.
Yuck.
You always say,
famously,
admire you as a person. Don't care for your work.
And you haven't listened to the pod, but I close out every time with saying, I'm just not a fan of Hannah Pilkes' work.
All right, guys, you know the drill. I'm just not a fan of Hannah Pilkes' work. You guys take care. Stay safe out there.
That's such a good closing.
What the fuck?
Why am I here? Am I here just to be ragged on? Is this a roast? I thought it was a theater podcast. It's a roast.
Roasted? I roast myself enough.
Do you know what it's like in this brain?
It's bad.
That's incredible. And when is that? Is that at the Elysian, you said?
I'm doing it again March 31st at Elysian at 7:30.
March 31st.
And I'm going to
exciting.
continue to be doing it. And yeah, I've been doing a lot of shows right now. It's been fun. I've been doing a lot of improv shows, so just popping around LA and doing little
mini tours. You go to New York all the
around.
time too.
And New York, we just did a little improv tour in Texas, which was really cool.
Fun.
And I want to take the show on the road eventually, but I think it'll probably be here through March and April, and then
skiing
maybe New York
at the Elysian on March 30th. Skiing.
You were right.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm saying skiing.
Yeah, you
I
are
think I
saying
have to
skiing.
extend skiing.
Also, that's a really fun name.
Skiing.
Hi, welcome to skiing.
There's a really good movie that was at Sundance with a Taika Waititi movie. He he acts in it called Fing, and it's really cute Paddington coded fantasy movie.
Both of those together sound like a sword fight.
Yeah, a Taika Waititi Fing. Yeah.
When's Greg's next performance?
Greg's next show, I believe, is April 7th at Elysian, and they're going to Edinburgh. We're doing Summer Hall, which will be great.
Ah, great.
And
you'll be going there for a bit to help get it on his feet before
Definitely. I think it's at the LGBT Center. I'll follow up with you about dates. I think there's 2 or so dates right now, but we're definitely going to be doing it through until they go to Edinburgh.
And if they want to find out about it, I'm sure they can follow you and Greg on Instagram.
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at Hannah Pilkes, Pilkes, and you can find all show deets there. And Greg Nussen, GregNussen, is their Instagram as well, where you can find show dates and all those things.
So follow along. Gosh, it's just it's so great to have the synchronicity of seeing a solo show with someone who knows solo show, directing, creating a new one. Greg,
and we did Edinburgh together in 2022.
We did Edinburgh together. You always forget. It's why I insult you at the end of every pod.
I remembered it right now. And spoiler alert, I am a fan of your work, Ryan Garcia. Why don't you put that as the tag after your tag?
I can't wait. Thank you so much for listening to another episode. And as always, let us know what shows you want me to see, guests you want me to have on. And remember that I'm not a fan of Hannah Pilkes' work. And thank you so much. Bye-bye.
And I am a fan of Ryan Garcia's. Bye. Thank God we stayed on track. All things considered.
We got big theater kid energy. Look out, we project, we sing out, Louise. Never market, always go full out. John Patrick Shanley never had a doubt. Our voices are warmth and kicks are high. We've got perfect form. We say thank you, 5. Grab your prop, charge all the glow tape. Curtains going up. 5, 6, 7, 8. We got big theater kids.